All right. We're back at the podcast, and we have 3 guests today. It started out with 1 guest. I was doing them by myself. Then I went to 1 guest. Andrew told me my max was 2 guests, but today we went with 3 guests because I got a text from one of the guests that said, "Hey, how about all 3 of us come?" And I said, "Absolutely." And I told Andrew this morning, and he's like, "What? We don't have enough mics." I said, "We'll make it work." I said, "We always do." So I'm here today with Professional Therapy Associates, and I have Arlene Schwartz, I have Randi, and I have Lisa. Arlene is the owner and has had professional therapy for 13 years. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Fine.
You nervous?
Doing good.
You're not nervous, are you?
No.
You can't be nervous. I wouldn't put you in a bad spot.
Never.
So I know you through the Rotary. Mm-hmm. I know you through the community, and then a couple of years ago, you had Wingman build you a new website. So tell us about professional therapy, because you've expanded. You have 156 employees as of the latest count from your bookkeeper. You have 3 locations. You're doing construction to make 1 location bigger, and I hear that there's more construction coming to make a 2nd location bigger. And if brick could get bigger, it would. If we could put a 3rd floor and get a variance in brick, there would probably be that would get bigger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 13 years ago, like, I bring on entrepreneurs and business owners weekly. If you've been watching the podcast, if you've been watching the YouTube, 156 in your businesses.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
So all right. So you don't look a day over 35, but from the pre-questions, I know that you've been in the game a little bit longer. So kind of just walk us through this.
Let's see. So PTA, basically we have a vision of serving our community. We are only serving pediatric children. So it's easy to grow because we all have people who care about the kids that we serve. Mm-hmm. So we are multidisciplinary. We do physical, occupational, speech therapy. And now, which is a very growing field, we have BCBA and ABA services, which is the behavioral aspect to what we do. Mm-hmm. And it's just taken off. You know, I have people who work for me that love it as much as I do and are really in it for the right reasons, and our programs develop. Randi does the clinical developments, and she's joined us. Lisa does our operations. And between everybody and our managers, I mean, we have just some awesome programs, and we're growing. People want to join us. I think there's a lot of competition out there, and people have the desire to join our staff. So hopefully we're getting the right people, and it continues to grow.
And I play Santa at
yes,
all
you
3
do.
locations, and I've seen a lot of the same staff, which is a testament to your guys' leadership, because you don't have that turnover like a lot of other places do, which is awesome. So I've seen the same faces year after year, as well as some of the same students, which is nice. And I like to see them when they grow, and they're more in tune to sitting on Santa's lap and taking a picture with Santa. Some of them the first year they're running away from me, but by the 2nd and 3rd year they're cooler about it.
Yeah. So I think the other thing that makes us stand out is we really are a medical model. Mm-hmm. So meaning that we are doctor driven. All our kids have appropriate diagnoses. We're able to take a child. The team looks and does the appropriate evaluations, and then we set up an individual plan that meets their needs. So perhaps if a child is on the spectrum, has some autism, their plan may not look the same as somebody who has ADHD and needs a whole nother set of development type things. So being able to do that, a lot of times we can give the services so much more individually than other places can. And we try to give them full programs so a parent can bring them to us and get all their services accomplished at one time.
That's perfect.
They might be coming for a few hours versus the mom coming for a half hour and leaving. So we really try to make it as individual as possible. And I think that's a big reason for us, that and the excellence in our programs. I really am very proud of my staff. We have excellent staff. We have a great orientation program, the mentorship program, which I have to tell you, they come to me and they say, we need to do X, Y, and Z. And Randi, the running joke is, she will convince me of why I need to spend the money to get this awesome program off the ground. Lisa makes the numbers work. So between the two of them, I don't stand a chance because, they're a team, a good team. And when we
You're getting bullied.
Yeah,
It's two
in a
versus
good way.
a good bullying, but you're getting bullied. So like by the time
Yes.
they come to you, they already know how they're going to pitch
As it should
what they're
be.
going to do. But listen, that's the sign of leadership, that you have people that are there to come. It's always I always think it's better for having someone smarter than me telling me what to do.
I say it all the time.
I don't want to just tell people, do this. I mean,
No, you have to surround yourself with the right
You
people.
want to start bringing on the right team of people that will push you to do better. And I think that's the excellence in the program.
Yeah.
And the really fun part is that most of our programs are created by our staff.
Yeah.
And they'll come through the appropriate channels to say, this is something that we're missing at PTA, and this is something that we should have. And then they come to me as, I do that clinical side, and I'm like, all right, how can I make this work? I take my team, how can I make this work? Who is this going to fall under? Who's going to be responsible for X, Y, and Z? And now I have to sell it to Lisa. Like, that's what I always tell people. Now I have to sell it to Lisa so she can make this work. That's our joke. I'm the money spender. She's the money saver. How can we financially make this
So then
a
there's a balance.
responsible thing?
Yeah.
So by the time it gets to Arlene, there's a balance. You've spent money, you figured out how to budget the money and make it work, and then
And it's not always perfect.
No, and we know that questions Arlene is going to ask
I was just going to
us.
say
Yeah.
that.
We have it in our
that
head.
you
and
know
we
what?
know.
That's the best part, because at least you come in and you know what
They're prepared.
You're prepared. I think that's great. I think that the more prepared you are to bring it to the boss, it's easier to know how to react and how you're going to move based on, again, if she has good decision making skills, you know how she's going to react to different things. The hard part with some entrepreneurs is they're Looney Tunes. So, one day they think this is the way to go, and then the next day you have a totally different answer. So, but it seems like you got this under
I
control.
think we have, it may not be physically written at all times, but we have a good strategic plan for going forward.
Perfect.
I mean, sometimes I laugh, they have to ground me a little bit because I'm that person, I'm that thinker. I want to conquer the world sometimes, and I need to come back to reality. And these guys, without them, I can't make it happen, right?
Totally.
And the way I don't like being top heavy. I like having enough management. So each of our buildings have a manager. We've put the education into place. We continue to educate. We have, in between these guys and the managers, we have a clinical manager. And I think it's really important that everybody knows their roles and that we don't stop learning and educating because, listen, I don't know it all. I laugh. I'm old compared to my staff. Most of my staff, if not probably, I'm going to be conservative and say that 75% of my staff are under the age of 35, 36 years old.
Oh, you're way
You're
off
way
there.
off. It's-
Most of our staff
See?
is
They're not
much-
afraid of me.
Is much younger.
I was trying to be
Thinking like
conservative.
That was
Mid-20s.
like mid-20s.
We're old.
They just blew her up. They
Right?
just
I
was gonna say,
Arlene
and did
just
you
got
see?
blown up here.
I'm like, that's
And did you
not
see they
accurate.
were not
Oh,
afraid?
they were not.
That's a good thing.
They were thinking
Well,
as you spit out the
I was
number.
like, what
they
is
were
she
like,
gonna say here?
I was very curious.
I'm 35, and I'm old when we sit in a room of what some of our therapists are.
Yes.
I mean, we always say we're similar in age and have similar experience in terms of our years as therapists, and I feel like a dinosaur a lot.
absolutely.
Because our staff is significantly younger. But it's awesome because they'll come to us for advice, and then we can watch them, and they know all the new trends, and it's a cool dynamic.
It's
so
a nice
I
balance.
would venture to guess that 75% of our staff is about 25 years old.
Yes.
That's a
Perfect.
whole decade away.
Oh
my God! You know what's funny is I feel the same way. I have a marketing agency and a digital company. And,
They're young.
And I'm 46 and I'm a dinosaur to these guys that are
Yeah.
working for me. But I keep up with the trends so I don't fall behind and look silly.
I'm trying. Case in point, which they will correct me.
Of course.
So, you look at new ways, we go to conferences and stuff, but it's really important to keep your staff engaged. Now, when you see the age difference between myself and the majority of my staff, they're all looking at things very different than I do, right? Or the way that I've built my career. These guys come along, and I gotta say, Randi is crazy sometimes. She comes up with these programs and competitions, and you've seen that with us.
I benefited from her crazy to do a food drive.
Yeah,
And the toy
drive.
Oh yeah. She gets them. She gets all those.
She gets them all riled
Oh
up.
yes, and I love it. I think last year we had over 600 toys at our toy drive due to the PTA.
Yeah.
So this year, Randi, can we get 1,000
I
this year?
actually just said, it may have been to you, Lisa, I was like, we do the food drive in the fall, we did the toy drive in the winter. We're about due to give back to our community. I actually just was saying this to someone from Rotary, because we always partner with the Rotary to give back to organizations.
Let's give a shout out to the
Yep,
Brick
shout
Morning
out
Rotary.
to Brick Morning
I'm the
Rotary.
president, so
Woo-hoo!
they have
There
to.
we go.
Yeah, they have to get a shout.
We do like to partner with them
Yep.
and help the organizations that they support as
You're
well.
awesome with all those.
Everything is a
give back.
competitive
well,
thing
I love
now.
it. I love it. So I think I might tell her next time. Oh yeah, did you hear about that other place? They collected a little more than you.
I can't
She
lose.
would
Yeah.
be all over that.
Oh my God.
But do you know what I say? And this goes into our charitable organizations and our staff retention, and it kind of all plays a part together. And it's funny I say this when I interview people. You spend more time with your work colleagues, and we call it work family, than you do with your family at home. So anything I do, I try to keep that in the back of my mind. If you don't want to pull up to work on a Monday and dread walking in.
No.
You want to walk in and be like, I can't wait to tell my colleagues about what happened over the weekend, or I can't wait to bring in the foods that we can move that, the little thermometer up, and we could be the building that wins. It all ties into
Did
that.
Robbinsville win the last time?
Okay, so
Be politically correct.
I'm going to be
here.
politically correct because some of my staff may watch this, but Brick has a tendency to win a lot. But I think Robbinsville did win the toy drive.
Why does Brick win a lot?
They have some really competitive therapists.
They also
Their
have been
staff.
around the longest.
They have.
They know about us.
They're,
They know
they're
about
the
this.
OG building.
They
We tell
are.
them that all the time. They have some very competitive staff members. So
Okay.
I drop random. I try to give heads up, but competition,
Yeah.
right? I'll just randomly be like, we're going to do a competition today.
Yep.
And it's awesome because the staff often are the ones that tell me we should do
Perfect.
this.
Yeah, that's great.
Which is wonderful. And Brick just gets into it. They're ready. They set the timers. They're if there's a free lunch at stake, we're going to
winning.
win it. We're going to win the free lunch here.
Listen, I'm going to double down. For my toy drive this year, I'm going to provide lunch to one of your buildings for whoever has the most toys.
Oh, that's
So
an incentive. They'll do it.
Wingman is going to sponsor
All
a
right.
lunch to the most competitive PTA building out
They
there.
will.
I was
They
gonna
will,
say,
that.
they will
yes.
run with this.
Go with it. You got it. So,
It was actually funny. And our Robbinsville location is in a strip plaza that has some stores that you can buy toys. Unlike Brick,
I was gonna say they had a very
and
unfair
unlike
compare.
Tom's River.
yeah, Tom's River,
So
we got
when-
JBJ over
That's
there.
Yeah.
So the
So
hence the food.
Yeah.
when the competition starts getting close, Robbinsville's like, oh no, we need to go right now. And they will go on their lunch
And pick up
to
some
a
toys.
store to buy toys. And then they're really great at all the buildings really are really great in incorporating the families.
Yeah.
This is not just our staff
Yeah.
spending their
Right.
own money to buy stuff, which they do and is wonderful, but they engage our families who also have that buy-in.
I remember
So,
last year when I was at
yeah.
I believe I was at Robbinsville when one of the moms came in with a couple
Toys.
toys
Yes.
Yeah.
while I was there, which was even
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah,
we had
it's
that
great.
at Tom's River this year. We had families coming in and
Yep.
and bringing
Right.
toys too, which was very nice.
The funniest is when I left Robbinsville, we were going back to Tom's River, I believe,
Yes.
and Santa wanted a cup of coffee. So I'm now in the drive-in through line with my Santa outfit on and getting a cup of coffee, which I just thought was funny.
You know what's also kind of wonderful in a different way, but since you do this with us year after year, and some of our children have been there, we actually can see, and through your eyes as well, children come to us and they're nonverbal. They're not able to sit
in
or
a seat.
stand, and you know, it's really a big deal. Lots of children are afraid of Santa, but when you see these children that are now going from being nonverbal to saying the word Santa or whatever it is. Hi.
Acknowledging somebody.
Yeah, acknowledging. That's huge.
I gotta say, I'm
Huge.
probably the coolest Santa out
You
there.
probably are.
I mean,
You
let's not
probably
get
are.
ahead of ourselves.
Everybody was very jealous. I was doing a podcast with Santa.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
yeah.
we did mention
was
that.
very
Oh, they know.
jealous.
Oh, they know you
Of
hear
course,
that, huh?
yeah,
All right, good.
yeah.
Hopefully they'll watch it and they'll like it. And I heard that there's another guy who wants to get on my podcast.
Yes.
A young man who is a race car driver in the
Yes.
community. Let's talk
Yeah.
about him.
My grandson.
All right, so
I
we should
first met
have
him-
should have said that we're mother and
Mother
daughter
and daughter
here.
combo. We have.
That's okay. I treat Lisa
This
like
will
my
make a
other
little more
daughter.
sense when you start hearing Nana
All right.
being brought up.
Arlene at work, Nana
At home.
Yes. So my son is going to be 9. He has been driving a race car at Wall Stadium at the Garden State Quarter Midget
right
Racing
down the
Club.
street from us.
Right down the street.
For
He
Wall
started
Stadium.
at 4.5,
Wow.
and at 5 they're able to, move on from rookie school and go under power. And he's been driving a quarter midget since he's 5.
That's crazy to think that he sits in a booster seat in your car and he's
Yes.
now driving in
Yes.
his own car on the
Yeah.
weekends and Friday nights and
Crazy.
Yeah.
and he probably is now teaching you how to drive.
Yes, I, shared with Lisa and my mom that, I'll be in the car and he's like, you should really get into that lane and go around the car. And I'm like, who do you think you are? Like, right? You're not even 9. And he's like, I am a NASCAR Youth Series driver. And I'm like,
Takes it very seriously.
okay, yep, you're right. You are.
So I met him through. I was picking up toys
Yeah.
from your mom's house right around the holidays. And I had met him. He was working on his car in the garage
Yeah.
with your father, and he's quite a talker. He's never met a stranger.
No,
The first time I
can
walked
talk to
into
anyone.
into the garage, Tom, you want to know about this? And he's walking out to the car as I'm bringing the toys out. He wasn't letting me go.
Yep, nope.
So
He was going to walk you right through that garage. He'll put you to work soon.
I don't know if you want my a lot of skills. Fixing cars is not one of them.
Yeah,
So-
he loves. I think he's a very confident child, like personality wise. The nice thing about racing is, and this is going to sound crazy to anyone who isn't part of that community, anyone can race. I mean, you have children all ages, experiences, boys, girls,
A lot of girls.
a lot of
Really?
girl
That's so
racers.
cool.
We have children that have varying disabilities that are racing, and there is no community like a race community. It's you're competing on the track, but you're also helping everyone you're competing against. It's unless you come and witness it, you've never seen anything like that.
Sure.
So it's a special thing, but Colin loves it. He, I think in his own mind, thinks like he's a famous driver.
He is.
Has a lot of confidence, so we're
In
hoping to
Nana's
see
mind,
it.
he's-
My world, he's famous.
So that's
So hopefully
great.
we'll see that confidence.
And let's while we're on this, because there's 4 children that of the 2 of you. So let's shout
Yeah.
them all out. Now we have Isabella.
We have Isabella. She's my non-racer. We tried. It did not work for her, but she's very into her dance and her cheering,
Awesome.
gymnastics.
So I'm
all
glad
that
that
good
I
stuff.
wouldn't want her not to hear her
no.
name
Yeah,
mentioned
no,
on the
we're gonna make sure we
podcast.
get them all covered.
And now I have Lisa, who had just had a birthday for her 2 twins, Carson and Cooper. And how old are they?
They are 7.
Wow.
It's crazy.
And
crazy.
that's kind of when you got connected with Arlene, right?
Oh,
So
I know them since they're born.
She's Nana.
Yeah, I'm
So-
Nana to them too.
So on top of Jay and Randy, now we have Lisa. You've adopted
Yep.
her too.
That's what we tell our staff that. It's funny. When I first started working, full-time at PTA, I was like, do I call her mom? Do I call her Arlene? And I went with the Arlene route. And then I was like, this is really unnatural and not who we are as a company. We have a lot of longtime friends and family that work at the company. So we joke, Lisa's the adopted daughter, I'm the birth daughter, and all of our kids have Nana.
Pretty much. Can't go wrong.
It's a testament to who you are, though.
Yeah. I love
That's
the
great.
kids.
I think that's awesome. So happy belated birthday to the boys. I hope I hope 7 is a great year for them. And all right, so you guys, you're the gritty one. You're always thinking. You always have an idea behind you.
I
So
try.
That's kind of who you are, and then they ground you. It sounds
Uh-huh.
from from what I'm gathering. They're the ones that are like, Arlene, slow it down. But how much longer do you want to do this?
Oh, that's a good question. Different opinion than maybe a lot of other people, but prior to doing kids, I mean, I've been in the rehab world forever, right? Feels that way. So I've done adult rehab, all different kinds of rehab. I am a serious believer that you don't need to retire. Not sure my husband would agree.
For a
but
while, he was a workhorse. He's starting to slow it
he
down a
is
little
slowing.
bit.
Don't
and
let him see this. But
he's got Jason there
yeah,
to kind
he
of
has my son. It's the
fill in.
same kind of thing. But I really don't believe in retirement. I think that you have to have purpose and you have to have a reason to get up every day.
I love this.
And I am setting up in our world as a family and my husband. I'm trying to get him to have the same vision with his company because it's a different
Sometimes
company.
it's like talking to the wall, though. Again.
Right?
I love him, but
I want to be able to, if I went away, I just got back from Florida. I know that I can leave the company and it will run and I'm not going to have a problem. Although, coincidentally, every time we go away, it seems like something happens.
major happens.
But
Every
between Randy, Lisa, and then having Jason there, Reese, who's our bookkeeper and really handles stuff for Howard and myself, between them all, I usually don't get a call until they've solved the problem or have a plan on
Or have
how
a
it's
plan.
going to
Right.
be. So
You posted on Facebook, and she's like, okay, now I have to call my mom because we posted
If we're-
on Facebook.
yeah,
If we're posting this and letting parents know, she's going to see it.
and I need to know. But all that said, the ability, it works for Howard and I, right? Because now if I want to go somewhere or I need to go, maybe he has something, whatever it might be, I can do that without the fear, that anxious, if you've ever had a business before,
I know.
right?
Oh, I know.
The anxiety of going. It's almost worse than when I had to leave my children
Yep.
for the first time or whatever, because there is such a huge dependency. And now before I walked in here this morning, I thought I had 135 employees. Now I have 156. I mean, that's a lot of
It's a
responsibility.
lot of responsibility.
A lot.
I always when I go away, I don't go away that often because again, to your point, I'm in the nuts and bolts of my business. But when I go away, if Cindy says to me, "Hey, you want to go away?" My first question is, "How's the Wi-Fi there?" Which,
Yeah.
as sad as that sounds, it's that anxiety overpowers the the ability to get away when you're in the middle of your business, in the middle of the hustle of it all. So I always say, as long as the Wi-Fi is good, I can go. And
So true.
we went to last year. We went to Curacao, and what I really liked about it is that the beach was like our room. We stayed right on the beach, and it was like 3-minute walk. So if something went on, I was 3 minutes away from being able to be back in the game. And again, when you own your own business, and for some people they say just turn it off. It's not as easy as
You
that,
can't.
and you can't. And when you have 156 people that are relying on you, and it's not even the employees, it's also the
It's the
parents,
clients
it's the
and
clients,
everybody,
it's
yeah.
everybody else. So I've heard people say to me, just turn it off. It's not as
can't.
easy as
can't.
turning it off. And I had a guy, we just recently did a podcast that's going to be coming out in a week, and he was saying, my brother says to me, you answer your phone no matter where you are. And it's the same kind of philosophy. Entrepreneurs are wired differently, they're built differently. So
We
they
talk
have,
about that all the time. Just the different mindset when you're the person
can't-
in charge.
You can't. It's not as easy as just turn it off.
No.
So I love that you said that, and I love that these guys are here to help you.
Yeah,
and
that's that
part
infrastructure.
and that's part of that leadership and that infrastructure that you're building so that you can step away, but you still can be involved.
And it takes a long time before, as the owner or the leader of the group, to zip your mouth, sit on your hands, and let it go.
Let them do their thing.
It's not easy.
Agree.
As people are saying to you, don't do this, don't do that, you want to say in so many ways, like, I have a better idea than that, but you know, deep down inside, you're encouraging your staff, your managers.
And you don't want to limit them. You don't want to come in and say, do it this way because this is the right way to do it. I like to let them kind of come out and flush out the ideas and then, again, give my 2 cents on the topic. But
Right. And you learn how to do that, too.
You don't, that doesn't happen overnight. I agree with you there. You know, I always, if you've seen this, I've said it a couple of times. I always used to say, I'm the only one that can answer the phone. I'm the only one that can answer the phone. For years, I believed that my phone was, I had to have the phone.
Yeah.
And then one time I gave away the phone and I was like, it was like a
Wow.
relief.
Yeah.
And it took a little bit of time to get there, but as I got there, now you guys all know Kristen from our office.
Oh,
She
yeah.
mans the phone. Like,
Yep.
so before, now I say,
And she's very good at
now
it,
all
I
even
might
say
say.
is, who is it? How do they know me? Like, but
Uh-huh.
meanwhile, a few years back, I was like, I'm the only one that can answer this phone. So
Yeah.
times change,
Right.
and you've got to put people in positions that they can do their
Yeah.
job and flourish. And
Yeah.
everybody wants that sense of responsibility and that sense of
Yeah,
ownership.
they need to grow too.
And they need to grow too. Otherwise, they're
that's
going to
the
find a
next
different
level.
spot that'll fit them
Yeah.
for their personal goals.
Yeah.
We actually talk about that all the time with all of our staff because as we grow and we have 156 employees, no one wants to stay in a job, or I should say it's very rare to find someone that wants to stay in their job and not feel growth in that
No, you need to
field
fall.
or in any way, shape, or form, that company, that field within their career. So we're always, I feel like,
We're always
exploring ways.
And as we grow, different things come up that we have to add to
We have
the
needs.
infrastructure and
Sure.
the needs of the clinics.
And now, do you try when possible? We do this. We try to hire from within as much as we can.
We really try to do that with any leadership type of position that opens. I don't even want to say we try. We do.
We do.
We will post. We
great.
post a position internally, and we have interviews. And we have good success of getting many candidates that want one position, which is a great thing because then we keep them in mind, and maybe more than one position opens
Sure.
as we look at that.
That's fantastic.
do.
I think that's huge. Like when you could hire from within. It also, I think it values for the employee. It values them that says, hey, before we go outside, we're going to look inside. And again, there's sometimes where you don't have that skill set, and then you have to go outside. But
Correct.
whenever you can, I think it shows
Yep.
loyalty to that employee too.
Absolutely.
No, it definitely gives the environment and the culture
Yep.
a positive feel.
Yep.
It really does.
That's awesome. So, what other things are on your minds for continued growth? Because you have a
Oh,
need
my
with this community.
goodness.
Sounds like from what you said, you're building out and doubling the size of 2 of the buildings. Is number 4 in the works?
Yeah, it's
Good.
definitely in the planning
You
stages.
still have that smile.
Yeah.
Like,
We
Yeah.
say we not even just 4. We have like 4 and 5.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Really
I
are
have
so
a
when we
like-
goal.
open 4, we're gonna double
Right.
down, go to 5 too.
Yes, I mean, I have a goal of probably somewhere between 5 and 7. I think
That's your
that
number?
would be, yeah. And you know what? In all fairness, I have a very close accountant who's a friend of mine, Bob Russo, and we have been together in both businesses, mine and my husband's, probably since around that 18-year-old kind of thing. And he has helped me on the entrepreneur side and working out those kind of details. And he'll sit with me and be like, you need to get to here by this year. You need to get to there. And he's also that person
Yep.
in the background who's like, you can do this.
Yep.
That coach sometimes.
Sometimes when you have someone that believes in you, it's just so much easier to do it. You just need that person to say, you got this. Like,
Yeah. And he knows me differently than some of the other. So, Reese, who has quite the sense of humor, said to me, she does our finance, our bookkeeping, internal stuff, and said to me, I went away for a week. I have all these postings. I'm going to put you in front of QuickBooks, and you do it. And I'm looking at her like, yeah, Lisa's
No.
shaking her head, no.
No.
Anybody who knows me would never, ever put me near anything with numbers in the computer because I will just make a mess of it. You don't want me to do that.
Sure.
And the first thing I said to her is, well, that, and you really should call Bob because he'll change that right away. So, yeah, I would never. But certain people know your
Yep.
skill sets better, and certain people can get you to cultivate. He's that person that pushes
And
me
he
to
sees
grow.
something in you to continue to grow. And the
Yeah.
nice part is your better half there.
He's growing too.
But he has a construction company, so every time you say
Yes.
I want to do something, he's got a crew to come in and get it done. Whereas
Yep.
most people are like, oh, if I build, I got to get a contractor, I got to get all the permitting. Like you have that under control because you have Jason and Howard that
Yeah.
can just get it done for you.
Yeah.
Our therapists laugh at me because I'm based out of our Robbinsville office. That's my home office. And that's where we're expanding right now, and we're almost done. But they're always like, what are you doing over there talking to the contractors? I'm like, I've known them for so many years through my dad's company. I'm
Yep.
like, I walk in, as much as I say good morning to you, I'm going to go say good morning to them.
Totally.
So it's funny. It's
And
nice
when
to have
they-
that connection.
It helps when they need something because I'm like, you don't want me to go ask. You guys go ask, and they'll do it for you quicker.
That's good.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That's great. So I love to see the expansion. I hate to see why you guys need to expand, but the need is
Right,
there, and
right.
unfortunately, the need is there. But I'm glad that you guys are there to help this need because these young children need this.
Yeah,
and
they need to be able to have their successes, and
Yep.
it's just as important, if not more, for their families.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
We always say it's bittersweet. It's great to be able to grow a business, but it's to help children who need services.
Right.
But at
it's-
least you have a
it's
great team of people who care that are there. You know, anybody can grow a business, and you could probably find some entrepreneur that doesn't care really, frankly, about the children, but cares about the business of it. Whereas it sounds like there's a nice balance between you guys need to grow your business and you need to find new spots and help people, but you care about it and you have a plan in place to really do the work to fix, help fix.
That is
Right.
in our mission statement is all about what we can do as a company to help these children and their families.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah. That's
You
who
guys
we
are
are.
you guys are rock stars.
Yeah. Yeah. We're trying. Great
Trying
team.
our best.
Great team, great leader, two managers that kind of rein you in a little bit, and it's all working. So, as we wrap up today, let's tell people where they can find you. I know I want you to tell the website.
Yeah.
Randy, I know that you're all about the socials, so
Yep.
let's get that out there.
So our website is www.ptasensorygym.com. Then we are on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We have a TikTok.
You doing TikToks?
We just started
just started.
TikTok.
I love it.
Just
Can't
started
I have
TikTok.
no idea how to do it.
I can't wait.
And then we have a YouTube channel, which right now we do this awesome program called Parent Training Series. So anyone that has, honestly, not even this. I was going to say anyone who has a child should go check this out. But
is a good way
it's
to get
a
knowledge.
great way to get so much knowledge as a parent, as an educator, in a school, a therapist outside in a clinic. We have the most brilliant team of therapists, and they volunteer their time to make presentations and train our staff and train families. So that's what's on our YouTube.
One day when I sell Wingman, I'm coming to work for you.
You're always welcome.
Awesome, thank you. So thank you guys for coming in today. This was great. I love what you're doing. Thank you for always giving back to the community and partnering with us through the Rotary and Shore Movement and the Holiday Toy Drive. It's great to have community partners like yourselves and businesses that are great to give back.
Well, thank you for asking us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Tell Colin you're going to be a YouTube celebrity.
Oh,
the
he's
kids are
getting
gonna-
ready. He'll
yeah.
be in here next.
All right, so when he's ready, tell him to give me a call and we can get him scheduled.
All
I'd
right,
love to have
perfect.
him on. All right, thanks guys. Have a great day. It was great to have you on.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.